The fight for supremacy in the superbike world comes down to power, weight and rider aids. We have with us today two of the most anticipated superbikes of the moment, the BMW S1000RR 2019 and the Panigale V4R with a race kit included. So we have the BMW that comes with around 207 horsepower right now, and the Panigale V4 with a claimed power output of 234 horsepower, which is close to insane. This bike replicates all the system on the MotoGP, while this bike comes with a lot of new features from BMW, including the M package on this one right here, lightweight battery and a set of carbon fiber wheels. We will test them on track, we will lap time them, and we will see which one is the best today. So the fun is over. We had beautiful weather, actually scorched weather because it was very hot. I'm with my friend Liviu, who is a superbike rider also, and he helped me today with his bike because the Ducati, it's his personal bike. And I actually have to tell you something about this guy. He went through all the bikes, all the options on the market. He bought them, he tried them, and he's a Ducati fan and remained with the Ducati. Tell me, you had a Yamaha R1, you had the BMW S1000RR, you had 3 or 4 Ducatis, and now this beautiful bike over here. Why all these changes? You wanted to try it, or why?
Problem is they were always improving, the guys from Ducati, and they was always coming up with something new, so I had to try it. I couldn't help myself.
You're that one that sees something in the store and you have to buy it, yeah? There's something new, I have to take it. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
It's understandable.
And yeah, no, this was not the main reason, but till this year I had the problem that the former Ducatis were over cubic capacity that was admitted in the Superbike championships. For example, the 1299 was 100 cubic over the limit. Also the first V4 from Ducati, the V4S that I had, also was 1011 cubic, so again 100 cubic over the limit.
Yeah, but the problem disappears with this one because it's a liter, it's okay, it's accepted, so it's under the regulation, it's under the umbrella, you can use it, you don't have any worries about that. So now I wanted to ask you something because it was your first time on the BMW, the new S1000RR. Tell me, is it improved compared to the previous model that you owned?
Oh yes, I have to admit that compared to my 2015 BMW S1000RR, there are a lot of improvements. First of all, the ergonomics, of course. I think the position is much more comfortable, maybe too comfortable for the track use. Of course, it's very comfortable for the street use. Also, the power delivery, it's very linear, maybe too linear, but of course we are talking at this moment about a stock BMW. We don't have the race package on it. Maybe after putting the race package it will deliver a lot.
Actually we've cheated today because this one has all the goodies on it. It has a full exhaust system, the racing kit, and it's the R version which comes with all the fancy electronics. Besides that, the BMW, it's the M package and comes with carbon fiber wheels and bits and bobs. So the difference is huge actually, because the BMW with changes can go up to 219 horsepower, something around that number. But this one is already around. We've seen it on the dyno. It can produce the R version with the Superbike, the racing exhaust system. It can produce around 230 horsepower, 224 I've seen before. Let's talk about the stuff we've observed today because it's very important for me. It's my first time on the Panigale V4R. A whole different story, a whole different world. I own a BMW S1000RR back home, a 2017 year model. And when I switched to the Ducati, it was different. I can put it like this, and I cross my heart because it's like racing on a bicycle with a huge engine underneath you, and that revs up like insane. So it's a huge difference. I think the main thing you observe after going on this bike is that the engine, the counter-rotating action of the engine will allow you to switch direction instantaneously. So that's absolutely phenomenal on track because you don't have to work that much, you don't have to use that much muscle. Well, you were telling me this morning about the way the bike switches side. Now I have to admit it's impressive. On the other hand, the BMW, it's a new bike, also very flickable, very agile, easy to turn. I love the tank, I love that I can use it to hold myself while leaning in the turn. I'm used to big bikes, I'm used to Japanese bikes, and this BMW comes very close to it. So I was telling you a bit earlier that the Ducati is different. It's different because the ergonomy is different, and I cannot understand it at first sight. I cannot understand it while getting a leg over it. and starting to ride. I need a day or two to feel it, to get along with it, and to understand it very good so I can ride it. But so far the Ducati impressed me like over my head. I'm very impressed right now with the Ducati.
I was telling about the improvements the BMW has done with this new S1000RR. Compared to my previous BMW model, the 2015, it's easier to turn, indeed. You don't have to use that much power, that much body weight or counter steering to turn it, but I still feel a lot of inertia, a lot of inertial mass when it comes to transitions. For example, to flick the bike from a left turn to a right turn.
Our most important job for today is to find our best bike in this test, and for that we have to observe. We've observed already actually the way the bike changes direction, how it feels in mid-turn, the acceleration, and also the ergonomy, the way you feel on it, how comfortable it is for a track day like ours today. So let's break it down to the ergonomy first, because I've said that I cannot understand the ergonomy on the Ducati. The handlebars are too small. I think I feel a bit clumsy. I cannot twist my wrist in order to release the gas, at least at the first right turns I've made over here. So that's hard for me. I had to learn again to twist the throttle. It's like not even close to the BMW. Also the leg position, the legs are very low and towards the rear of the bike, so you are like on top of the bike, like on a bed, you know. So it's totally different. While on the BMW, the ergonomy it's a bit more, let's say, close to a touring bike, because it's very comfortable. It offers you a lot of room leg. It has the handlebars position is pretty nice up, so it feels very comfortable. And I think you can ride it for a whole day without having some problems on track. What do you think about this?
I would say that the ergonomy of the BMW is more street-oriented than race-oriented. And of course this comes up to a personal setup that each rider has to do and set for himself. We are talking about a stock bike, not
Considering the adjustments you can make, although you can put some rear sets that are adjustable and everything, they are the same mounting point, so it's close to the rear. The foot pegs is very low and moved to the rear on the Ducati compared to the BMW. So you are like a jockey on a horse while riding the Ducati, you know. And there's also the smaller tank that you have a lot of angles from it, and you also have some points for holding your elbow while going down in the turn. So this is a good thing, but at the first sessions I was trying to find that spot, and every time I forgot about it I was like, oh, it's a bit lower, I have to put my elbow here. But it is over there. It's different. That's what I'm telling you. It's different, and it's not feeling bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but you have to adapt to it. Another important aspect, while going to the turn, you have to exit. You have the need for systems, electronic system, power. Before the turn you need some brakes, and most important, how do you feel them? Because it's clearly when we're going in the straight with the Ducati, you were on the Ducati, I was on the BMW. I was following you very close, and then the Ducati managed to pull from me and gain meter by meter, and at the end of the straight you were like 10 bikes in front of me, although we were both full gas. I think that's where the power difference feels. We've agreed both that at the end of the straight, when we're braking very hard, you don't have any feeling from the brakes on the BMW compared to this ones on the Ducati. The initial bite, it's like nothing, so you have to squeeze it very hard in order to get the juice out of it. While in the turn, you have the traction control that worked for you. Did you feel any interventions different today?
No.
So every
electronics are smooth. Only thing that I can say about downshifting on the BMW seems a little bit more complicated than on the
You had
Ducati.
some issues downshifting.
I had some issues downshifting, and
Okay, so we both had the auto flipper and quick shifter on these bikes. They work like magic, but sometimes the one on the BMW felt like, I think if you concentrate on it and you leave it alone and then press it, but if you use the race pace and you don't care about it that much, you press it, it might get off and you won't switch.
might not work.
It
Exactly.
might not work, yeah. Suspension system. So you have the All-ins, the TTX on the Ducati, you have the active suspension on the BMW. You've noticed something, you've told me. I didn't feel it that much because I was more concerned about my riding style and adapting. So you've noticed something in mid-turn. What have you noticed?
So
On the BMW?
on the BMW, on mid-turn, I noticed that the bike is a little bit unstable, especially if you're trying to make some corrections in mid-turn. Bike becomes really unstable. A thing which I didn't notice on the Ducati. So the Ducati, you put it on the line, even if you are trying to make some corrections on the line, even if you brake a little more or if you accelerate a little bit earlier, the bike stays there. It's really planted, so you have no issue, no fear of opening the throttle.
Yeah, I think that can be solved with a set of racing suspensions that you can fit on the BMW, and then we'll be fair. Other than that, you have a big difference. You have the difference of horsepower, because this one, it's at around, let's put it 200, and this one produces, with, as we've said before, 220 at least on the dyno at the rear wheel, which is insane. We've noticed the difference every time we go on the straight. The Ducati kicks off like insane, but there's another big difference. It all comes to money. Okay, you can buy a track toy like this one's over here, and you pay for it for the Ducati with this kit, all included. You only take it inside your van and you put it on track and you race it. You pay around 45,000 euros. Am I right?
Yes, so the list price of the bike is around 39,000 euros, VAT included. And for the race kit, you're paying something like 6,000 euros.
And you get the
That
exhaust
included
and
also.
bits and bobs like the fairings and other stuff. For the BMW, like this one, the M package over here, you pay around 23,500 euros, but you have to add up some more. You add up the exhaust system, the suspension system, the fairings, the rear sets, the clip-ons, bits and bobs,
Electronics upgrade
electronics
for the track.
upgrade for the track, and I think you will go at around 10 to 12,000 euros. So combined with that, you get a number of 35,500 euros, but you make a full spec race machine from this BMW over here. The chances to beat with the Ducati are close, but the Ducati wins because it has a bit more grunt inside that engine, and it's also a bit more flickable. It uses the MotoGP technology with the counter-rotating engine, and it's a more race-intended bike from the start than the BMW right now. So if you want to buy a bike like this and you have the budget, the Ducati should be a bike, because it's more than you can use. It's insane. If you adapt yourself to it, you'll be the fastest on track, that's for sure. I'm more than sure about this. Ducati has a lot to offer. You only have to be prepared to use all that power and all that electronic systems that you can use as standard. On the BMW, on the other hand, you have to pay the 35,000 euros, and you will get a full racing machine with everything that you want, everything that you wished for, and you might be at the same level, maybe if you're a very good racer with the Ducati, but the Ducati also has some reserves and it can push some more. For our tests today, we both agreed, after riding the BMW S1000RR 2019 and this Ducati V4, the Panigale V4R, that the V4R, it's the best thing that we've ridden so far on track as a stock machine. Do you agree with me on that? That's why you bought it, huh? I'm not trying to scratch your back or something, but this bike over here, it's incredible. It's phenomenal. I like the BMW, I like it a lot, but I know for sure if I had that amount of money, I would go for the Ducati, because damn it, it offers you everything. So you get everything that you can wish for on a race bike. I think this is our conclusion for today, because after a day of riding, we had around 8 sessions on a scorching heat, slick tires for both. We controlled the heat, we had numerous laps, and after trying both bikes, we agreed that the Ducati, it's the best bike to buy if you have the money for track. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one.